The great outdoors, a wonderful place filled with such diverse life, including microorganisms, plants, and animals. You can't control these elements, but with the right knowledge and tools, you can be prepared to face just about anything. And it's time to get connected. Our guest today is Kurt Avery, the founder of Sawyer, a company dedicated to making the outdoors enjoyable for small kids and adults. Mr. Avery, welcome to the Weekend Connection.
Well, thank you for letting me be on.
Absolutely. Mr. Avery, looking at what you've made in Sawyer, many steps, I'm sure, have been taken to get where you are today. But what exactly prompted you to start this kind of organization?
Well, I had a life in the corporate world before I started Sawyer, and then I just decided I wanted to start my own thing. And I came across the product. This is crazy stuff. It's still in Walmart today, 40 years later, but it's the extractor for sucking out venom of a rattlesnake bite, a snake bite kid. And of course, I told my wife I'm going to quit this corporate job and start a snake bite kit company, and she should have shot me right then and got it over with. So here we are, 40 years later, and the product's still in the stores. And so from there, we moved on to first aid, and then we got into the sunscreens and insect repellents and now water filtration. So all the things that you need to enjoy the outdoors, keep you safe.
Great. And aside from those water filtration and venom extraction, is there any other kind of products that Sawyer makes?
Yeah, we do the insect repellents. We're the techie brand. We're very advanced, the highest what the military uses. You know, when they have to use repellents 300 days a year, they use ours because A, it works, and B, it's very gentle to the skin, not like the stuff you spray on it that you get in the regular stores. So we're techie. So we do topical skin repellents, and we do clothing repellents. So you can treat your clothes, and for a month, all the bugs will leave you alone, all the ticks will die, mosquitoes leave you alone, 55 different other insects leave you alone. And military use that. It's on every uniform. So we invented that technology. So that's huge, because now you go out and be safe with your clothes, not even having to put the stuff on your skin if you got long sleeves and stuff.
Wow, I wasn't even aware of that. And Mr. Avery, I was wondering if you had any advice to those who are just preparing themselves, going on maybe a camping trip or hiking, or just even being outside.
Yeah, and actually, we'll have a lot of that advice if we don't cover it here, listed on our website, Sawyer.com. You go in there and we'll teach you how to prevent mosquito bites and tick bites and all that kind of stuff. But the clothing treatment's pretty special. You just spray your clothes with it, and now ticks, they're very slow metabolism. They only breathe every 15 minutes. So once they've crossed 1 inch of that fabric, that's it. They're not going to embed. It might take them 4 or 5 hours because they breathe so slowly, but they're done. They're going to die. The ticks can't get you. It repels mosquitoes as well. Any fabric, backpacks, clothes, that kind of thing, and it just stays. It bonds in like the color in your shirt, so it stays right there for a month. You can do it on your pets, your dogs. So pretty neat little thing. It's widely available in all the camping stores, just for the yellow box or can. But that is the game changer. That's on every military uniform. No soldier can go out in the wilderness without having their uniform treated. It's that effective.
Absolutely. Although these insects are so small, you're talking about ticks and mosquitoes, they pose a much larger threat to the health of millions, if not billions, of people who are just going outside on a daily basis. And I was wondering if you had seen any statistics or data regarding those diseases that are mainly transmitted by those insects.
Well, there's a lot of them. Mosquitoes, of course, you got the West Nile, you got chikungunya, which is a big outbreak going on right now in the Far East. But here we have dengue fever and those kind of malaria. Those are all viruses transmitted by the mosquito. So obviously you don't want to get bit by them. we don't have a lot of malaria here yet, but we do have a lot of West Nile, make you sick, stuff like that. The ticks are bad. There's 500,000 cases of Lyme disease every year in the United States. You don't want to get that because that's like having arthritis when you're young. And also, it can get worse and worse and worse. It's treatable if you catch it early enough, and sometimes it keeps coming back. But there's poison, which is the alpha gal, which makes you allergic to red meats. You can get there's some of the other ones. I'm trying to think of the names, but the Rocky Mountain spotted fever. So there's a lot of them out there. They're nasty little critters, but but they're easily controlled because they're so slow metabolism that they don't transmit that bacteria to you for anywhere at least 12 hours, probably more like 24 hours before they embed and then can actually trade fluids with you. So you got plenty of time to deal with them. Obviously, treating your fabrics with permethrin will eliminate most of that. They're just going to die and fall off. But you don't want to get those. So, but if you do get one, they're very easy to remove slowly. You don't panic. They're not transmitting anyway, so you got plenty of time to just slowly pull them off. Trick is not to panic, to understand that they're very, very slow metabolism, so you can sneak up on them pretty easy.
We're speaking with Mr. Kurt Avery, the founder of Sawyer, a company dedicated to outdoor protection. We've been talking about insects and the use of protection out there, but there is another side of that, and that is whenever we are outdoors, we may be out of food or water. And one of those other issues is with water filtration, with getting a clean source of water. And I was wondering if you could talk just a little bit about what it is that you provide to get clean water to just anybody.
Well, we've invented what's called hollow fiber membranes. They're point of use filters, so they're what you drink right goes through the filter right before you drink it or cook or whatever. And we don't care what the water is. I mean, we're over in slums of Nairobi, and we're in 80 countries, and drinking water you'd never want to drink, but we can make it clean enough to drink. But in the domestic side of it, we have a little saying: everything you can see won't make you sick, and everything that makes you sick you can't see. So you could look at a clear stream and not realize there's stuff in there that could make you sick. But our filters, we happen to be the only one that were so fine that any water that comes through that, you cannot get sick from it bacterially, any protozoan, cyst, bacteria, any of that kind of stuff. So we're obviously very dominant. We're the major brand here. And it's smaller than a Coke can. They're really small, and they never wear out because we give you the ability to just clean them. So like in foreign countries, we have people that use it every day for 15 years. And we, some of these can give you 200 gallons a day. But, for the hikers and the campers, or worrying about hurricanes and boil alerts and all that kind of stuff, it's a really low-cost way to know that whatever water you throw through there, you're going to be safe. And huge. Nobody would do the Appalachian Trail without it. I think everybody goes on the trail carries one of our filters, or the PCT, all those other places. All the hurricanes, like Helene, we passed out 100,000. Red Cross passes them out. It's just, you got to have water. Everybody has to have water.
Right.
We're very dominant. We're 140 charities, all the big ones: Samaritan's Purse, Red Cross, World Vision, and a lot of minor ones. All use a filter in 80 countries, some of the worst places in the world.
And you touched on one subject that I kind of wanted to talk about as well. I saw an article on your website that was labeled as the international help that Sawyer provides, and it just fascinated me. Would you take another moment to explain what it is that you do in those other countries in providing help around the globe?
Yeah, we go into a village or anywhere. Like I said, we're in 80 countries, projects all over the world. Within 2 weeks of using the filters, just waterborne sicknesses are gone. They're just gone. In Nairobi, they're closing medical clinics because they don't have any customers anymore because it was water that was driving the customers. So it just wipes out all your sicknesses, your typhoid. We have countries where they wouldn't name the children until they're 3 years old because they didn't know if they would live. But now, they name them at birth because as long as the filter's there, those kids are live. So we save hundreds of thousands of babies a year. We try to treat anywhere from 2 to 5 million people a year get the first water for the first time ever. We don't care if they're coming out of the rivers and puddles where the cows poop. It makes no difference. We make it safe to drink. And it lasts 10, 15 years. We have some of them that are out there now in their 16th year. They're still using them every day for their family. So we save them income. We save them boiling water. I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, God has given us a really cool task to do. And we've done 5 countries total. Everybody within the country now has clean water. Our next target is Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador. So hopefully within 2 years, there'll be no more waterborne sicknesses in those 3 countries. It's amazing. It's very humbling, actually, but this filter is just amazing.
Amen. I imagine that going across the world and delivering these resources, it must take a great amount of money, of other different resources that you need. How is it that you're able to have such a broad reach and this influence across the globe?
Well, one, we have a very profitable business. So insect repellents have pretty high margins. So we do quite well because we're the techie brand. But it's not just us. We do donate quite a bit of money. We donate quite a few filters. But we have 140 charities that will do it. I mean, they raise money too. We're pretty much the only filter charities are going to use anymore because the fact that it is the only one that you can say that you can't get sick using this filter. So we have, they have their resources too. That's part of their mission. It's a great tool. It's the living water, and so what the charities that share the gospel, they'll take a glass of dirty water and then they'll run through the filter and all of a sudden it's clean water and they'll say, this is your life. You were full of sin and dirty and Christ made you clean. So it's a great tool for the sharing the gospel. So a lot of these charities have locked onto it because it's made them very efficient in terms of their mission. So we certainly donate a good chunk of money. We always say 90% of our profits, but it's actually more than that because we try very hard not to make a profit. We try to give it away before it gets there, but we're only a small part of it. These other charities are putting all their money, resources into it too, because it's such a great tool. So collectively, but we're all doing this thing. So it's not just us. We have some really good partners, like I said, great Christian partners, but it's cool. Just think 5 million people a year, we change their lives. I mean, it's not only are they healthy and they're not sick, but we save them up to 20% of their annual income that they were spending on either getting some kind of water, buying what I call improved water, or buying fossil fuels to boil it. And then they get, we know that the kids can go to school an extra 30 some days a year because they're not sick. The parents get well over 30 days a year to work because they're not sick or their kid's not sick. So it's a huge economic impact in addition to the health impact or because of the health impact. So it's very transformational. So we're heading to Central America now. We're in 80 countries. I mean, we're in North Korea, we're in Iran, we're in Gaza, we're in Yemen. I mean, we have people take those things in everywhere because it's a little thing. It doesn't even cost less than $20. The impact is staggering.
Mr. Avery, thank you so much for your time today. Is there anything else that you'd like our audience to know regarding this foundation, regarding your work across the world?
Oh, we're just getting started. So come join us. Personally, I'm fine. There's no U-Hauls in heaven, so I'm not taking it with me. You can't take it with you. The only thing you can take to heaven with you is the souls that you help lead there through the Holy Spirit. So that's all we get to take with us. So we're pretty dedicated to that. We're having a blast. I mean, how can you not have a blast? So there's a sense of responsibility. It's tough because, boy, you'd like to change all these lives right away, but it takes time. So, no, stay in touch. Join us however you want. go on trips with us if you want. We've had somebody will take you over and let you see what we're doing, or watch the videos, or if you want to donate, every dollar will go overseas to wherever you want it to go. It's pretty big deal. Think about never being sick again from water.
Hmm.
It took away. Babies live. People are healthy. They're economically ahead. They start businesses. They can cook food because they got clean water. Start businesses. It's amazing, actually.
Well, Mr. Avery, thank you. On behalf of everybody who is listening, I'm sure we can all say a big thank you for your work, for your ministry across the world. And it's been a pleasure for me to be able to get to have this time with you and ask these questions in the first place.
We appreciate what you're doing, so yes.
That's all for this week's Weekend Connection. Weekend Connection airs every Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern and discusses real-world issues just like you heard today.
Thank you for listening to this feature, a production of BBN, the Bible Broadcasting Network. BBN provides 24-hour Christian programming, great Christian music, and Bible teaching. Listen to BBN by clicking the link in the description.